Okay, thank you so much for being here, Lisa. I have Lisa Agueda from Moses Rose Law. She's IP trademark attorney.
Yes.
And this is an area I don't know that much about, but I discovered you through the Provisors Network after I got a scary email about my business name. And we got to meet, and I just been so impressed and wanted to bring her here to talk a little bit about her expertise as it relates to hospitality. Lisa, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me and for reaching out. I was happy when you did, even though it was a scary email. There's always a good way to deal with those. And
all things come together for good.
When in doubt, contact an attorney that you know. It's pretty good.
I got a lucky
advice.
one because that was an email from an attorney, and sometimes, they...
Yeah, which is something we can talk about a little bit later, but trademark scams are huge right now, or attorneys reaching out and sending you a scary email saying, oh, your trademark's taken or your business name is taken and you're going to get sued if you don't do this and that. So anytime anybody asks you to do something that you're not initiating yourself, it's probably a good idea to check with an attorney.
Find someone like Lisa.
Yeah.
But I wanted to hear a little bit more about your law practice and also your hospitality experience.
When I moved to San Francisco at 24, my first job was at the Cheesecake Factory.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, is there one in San Francisco?
Yeah, it's on top of Macy's. And I've always worked in restaurants to support myself through school. That was the first one. And then I worked at better restaurants and higher end. The Cheesecake Factory is great. When I say better, just the culinary experience in San Francisco is fantastic. And I got into wine through that, the beverage industry, the cocktails. I'm always going to Napa. I'm a member at various wineries. Talking about wine and hospitality and how it relates to trademarks is really near and dear to me.
You're the perfect person to help, because I just know that there's a lot of people that don't know what they don't know when it comes to this. I've had some clients run into situations where they had to change their business name or just weren't prepared. So maybe we'll just get into it then. Can you talk a little bit about what hospitality businesses, both retailers and manufacturers, should be thinking about as they start their business?
Yeah, so, again, I'm a intellectual property attorney focusing on trademark and copyright laws. So something that I think most businesses tend to overlook until they really need it. It's not a very expensive area of law, so it's easy to kind of put safeguards in place so that whether you're launching a business or launching a new product or, launching a new wine, you know that you're going to be protected or that you're safe from getting, a cease and desist letter from somebody else that says, hey, that wine name is too similar to mine. And I think what a lot of businesses can do as they're starting is asking, they know somebody like you and say, hey, do you think of anything I haven't thought of that maybe I should do? Or just, you looking out for your own clients and saying, hey, have you thought about trademarking this name or making sure it's available before you launch it? Unlike the service industry, when you're creating a wine or a beer, the label, the name goes on the actual product, and now you send it to 50 retailers or more, and then you get a cease and desist letter and have to pull that from the shelves.
Yeah.
Versus whether you're like me, a law firm online, and somebody doesn't like my name, then I could just change my website, right? But I don't have to call 50 different people and say, I need that product pulled back. So that's one thing to do, is just making sure that your name of your product that you're launching is available. Everybody should do their minimum due diligence, which is search Google, search online. Nowadays, you can ask ChatGPT, is there a wine or is there a beer out there? But that's not enough. You should really get an attorney involved because they can give you the legal landscape and tell you if you're launching a brand and you think, oh, according to the website, there's nobody out there. But then it turns out that an attorney can give you a sense of, yeah, there's somebody out there, and they're known for sending cease and desist letters and enforcing their brands.
Yes.
So you're going to have a problem, right? It's just checking if it's available.
Okay, so can you talk a little bit about the difference between trademarking the name of a product and how a retailer, like a restaurant, might protect
their name? So one little misconception I think a lot of people have is that your business name, whatever you form with the state of California or maybe the state of Delaware, has to be the name you use. It doesn't have to be. You can be, your proper Porco, but if you started like a little side business, you could call it something else. The owner would still be proper Porco. So
Right.
bad example, but Nike, it's not wine, but Nike has Nike Inc. and they own Pegasus and the Nike Air and the swoosh.
And those are trade names and trademarks.
Trademarks
Okay.
that cover shoes or clothing or different things. Even apps.
Okay,
Now Nike
right.
has an app. So just to kind of come back to basics, a trademark is an indicator of source
Okay.
for goods or services. So when you think of Google, you know exactly what that is. It's a search engine. If I say Nike, that's shoes. So you know the source of the products by the name.
Okay.
So all you have to hear is the name Costco. It's Budweiser. It's beer.
Yeah.
Think about it like if you're speaking to somebody who's never been in the U.S. before and they don't know what a Coors Light is, right? They just drink their local beer. If you say Coors Light, they're like, I don't know what that is because they're not familiar with the source or with the brand name and what it offers. So yeah, just thinking it's indicator of source, and that's kind of the basic thing to think about trademarks. Everybody has one, even if you think you don't have it. Everybody has a business name.
Right.
I mean, if you're in business, everybody has a business name. Everybody's offering the product under a name. Every local bar, you say you want to meet up here or there. Those are all trademarks.
What is the difference between the state and the federal trademark? And who should be getting what?
Yeah, good question. California has its own trademark registration portal that you can find on the California Secretary of State. The U.S. federal government is the agency that deals with federal trademarks.
Yeah.
The difference is, so kind of like another mini lesson, trademarks in the U.S. are, you establish them through use. You, for example, you started your business with your business name, and now people who know what you do know that's proper Porco and that's Gemma, right? So now you might think, okay, well, I want to register this name in the whole United States. That's because I don't want anybody else to use it. But because you're only operating in California right now, there's a lot of pros and cons, but the benefit to registering it in the whole United States is you have a presumption of validity in all of the United States. That's yours. So if somebody started a company called Proper Pour for the same services out in New York, you could send them a letter saying, hey, cut it out. It really becomes a business decision because all of these things obviously cost money, right? Sending a letter, hiring an attorney, saying, I want you to stop doing this. And the reason why people do that is because it's really affecting their bottom line. So it depends. How big are you? Where are your products going? The difference is the California Secretary of State is about $70 or $90 for the filing fee. The USPTO filing fee is $350 per class. Beer is in class 32 and wine is in class 33. If you're offering both, it's $700 to file an application. The real difference is whether you want that presumption of validity throughout the United States. I advise most people to do that because it covers all the states and territories. But if you're a small restaurant in California or just, you just have one location, you're a bakery, like you're not really, and money is an issue. You just want some protection, but you can't do the full federal thing, then maybe the California state registration is enough because maybe your competitors are in California. And it's such a big state anyway, so
The whole country,
if you can't
really.
do the federal, then at least do the California.
Does every state have their own trademark?
Most states have some type of trademark registration.
It's a state issue and also a federal. I mean, there's federal alcohol permits for manufacturing or wholesaling.
It's just the laws are really intricate, and it's
Yes.
Every attorney has like a specialty in one thing. There's attorneys that just do alcohol and liquor laws to make sure you're compliant and doing all the right things. And then there's the trademark attorneys that take care of your label and your logo and your brand. And then there's, the employment attorney for the people who work for you. So there's a lot to cover in running a business.
A lot of expertise to know, so it's great to have partners like you that can help
Yeah.
people make sure they're doing the right thing and not
Yeah.
getting into trouble.
Yeah. And I think for the beverage, the hospitality industry, it's really smart to just find an attorney, pay some attorneys' hourly rates, right? They're expensive, they vary, but let's say you have a $1,000 budget and I want to make sure this name is good to go because I
Yeah.
really love it. That might save you like 10,000 or 20 or 25,000
Yeah.
down the road, right?
And a lot of heartbreak.
Especially in the food and beverage industry because people all want to use names that already exist.
Yeah.
So that's something else for clients to think about. From my experience, I've seen a lot of these situations where somebody wants to use this cute name associated with wine that somebody else is already using, or they want to say it's buttery, and then there's the butter wine that goes after everybody. Having that knowledge in mind, having an attorney who knows some of those things
Yes.
that come up is helpful because it's like before you even go there, just don't even go there because
Attached.
And you can't call your wine. It has to be something else. And that's another thing I should mention for our listeners or viewers. There are terms that are considered descriptive in every industry. So everybody needs Cabernet and Pinot Noir.
Right.
We all need those terms to describe our wines, right? No one party owns those names.
Descriptive names.
Yeah, descriptive.
Yeah.
That's, you need it to, so it's a tenet of trademark law that descriptive terms are available to everybody. They usually need to be disclaimed in trademark applications. And what that means is if your wine is barefoot, I'll drink it. But if it's barefoot Pinot Noir, of course, you know, the trademark is barefoot.
Yeah.
Pinot Noir is what type of wine it
Descriptive.
is.
Okay.
Right. So barefoot Chardonnay, the trademark is barefoot again. The descriptive part is Chardonnay. So you want to have a name that's unique and that people can remember. But a lot of people want to do cute play on words with Italian, you know, Italian words that mean something in English, and then somebody else already has it. Just making sure because people want to have those same terms. So just checking to see if it's available is a great first step.
Yes.
And if it is available, registering it throughout the United States, if you're going to distribute it throughout the United States, is fantastic. Another benefit to that is once you have that trademark registration, if you operate in different countries or eventually export, you can also extend protection of that trademark to foreign countries.
Okay. So it's state, then federal, and then
The national.
these types of companies are often looking overseas.
Yeah.
Distribution.
Big wine producers or distributors will look at who's using what in the United States.
Okay.
So there's such a thing called a trademark watch where they
Okay.
can see, oh, this small winery in Napa filed a trademark application that sounds a lot like our wine.
It's like
Yeah,
a-
alerts for these things. So that's how these letters get sent, and how
Yes.
people learn about it is
Okay.
that there's, you know, mechanisms in place to prevent, you know, somebody from registering a similar name. And then there are brands that are just so famous that nobody would think to copy them.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to make a beer called Guinness or Guinness, you know, because that brand is so well known.
So recognized.
You wouldn't even try it. Yeah. I'll
Amazing.
stop talking later.
No,
Ask me
this
more
is so
questions.
good. The wealth of knowledge. I think those were the questions that I had. Is there anything that I didn't ask that you think I should have?
No, I think just main takeaways is trademarks are super valuable. You can then license them, make T-shirts, do other stuff. There's a lot of things you can do with a good brand, with a good
They
trademark.
become an asset as part of
when
your
you sell
business.
your business, right?
Yeah.
So if you ever want to sell your business,
That's a
if you're a
good point.
company, they're going to ask, do you have trademarks in
Yes.
place? Do you have registrations? Because when they buy your brands, they don't want to buy a lawsuit that hasn't
Yeah.
come up yet from a third party. So it's
Looking for assets, not
Yeah,
liabilities.
right.
All right. Well, I love that.
So yeah, it's a fairly inexpensive process. Do it first and do it early, and then know that, like, hey, here's the name I'm going to use. It's clear, and then you can run with it rather than in the back of your mind always thinking, is somebody going to send me a cease and
Yes.
desist letter? Or, oh, I just learned that there's, go to a dinner party and somebody says, oh yeah, isn't that the one? And you say, no, that's actually, and now you have a problem on your hands.
Yeah, we want to identify those early on.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat. Hopefully we'll do more of these down the road with other things that come up. So.
Thank you. And if you have any questions, let me know.
I'm going to link her info below. She's amazing, and you should all talk to her. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see how that worked.